My virtue as a person is that I never get tilted. Like, in these kinds of fights, I never ever can be tilted. I can only get some big dubs. So actually, I learned that some people actually get super heated, right? Some people get mad, but I'm like, nah, bruh. Every time I get closer, I feel good. I feel good. So I don't know, feels crazy to me that people can get heated and just not keep on going, but I gotta do it. I gotta see it through to the end. It's not even so much like your skill issue, it's really a mindset. And that sounds so cringe, but I genuinely mean it. Like, the way for me, the reason why I was able to do it in the end is not because like necessarily I got better at it, but because I really truly was like, I'm staying positive. I'm keeping my belief. My belief is keeping me going. The real goal in taking on a boss like Fatalis and taking on these kinds of super bosses is not getting tilted. So for those who really want to get into the Fatalis grind, what you really have to do is think about, how can I not get tilted? How can I not get tilted? How can I keep on up this outlook throughout my entire training montage? And I think that there's multiple things. I could probably rant about this for a while, but like multiple things is like this belief that you can truly do it. I truly believe I can do it. I know I can do it. I know that it is in my power. And that's really the only mindset that can carry you through 40 hours. 40 hours is the only mindset that can carry you through 200 cards. And when I say this mindset of like, I think I can do it, I think that plays out in two ways. So let's say, hypothetically, we're talking about getting tilted. Let's say you fight Fatalis and you just time out. You just time out. Like, you literally had one hit left and you would have beaten him, but you would have beaten him in 30 minutes and 1 second, but you timed out. There's two reactions to that. One is a tilted reaction of like, this game is unfair, this game is cheating, it is not a fair fight, or I am a shitty player, or like, I don't deserve to win. It's always me fucking up. Like, if I always mess up, I'm always doing the wrong thing. That shows just like, I can never do things properly, I can never close it out. Those are kind of the two reactions you can have, right? Where it's just like, you feel like I'm just a failure. I just fail at these things. I get to the finish line and I just fail. Like, if you say to yourself even once, I'm a failure, I always fuck up at the end, or if you say to yourself like, this match is unfair, everything is stacked against me, then those are two very quick ways to kind of like get yourself out of this mindset of like, you know, encouraging yourself. Because like, when you're doing this, you have to cheer yourself on. If no one cheers you on, you have to cheer yourself on. And so for me, like, that's the big thing for me, is like, I was cheering myself on the entire time. And as Zukalulu is saying, like, the two mindsets for being tilted is that, like, if you're at the finish line, if you just timed out, you either blame yourself or blame the game, or you say, I was so close! I was so close! I was so close! That just proves how close I am. That just proves that I really gave it my all. That just proves that I could, like, that just proves that, like, I gave everything to it. That just proves that I got better. That just proves that I am, you know, I learned something. And even if I don't beat it in the end, it proves that I made it as close as I possibly could. If you have this belief that you can definitely do it, like, every single time I fight, I just got a little bit closer. I just got a little bit better. I improved the tiniest bit. Like, maybe the time technically wasn't better, but I learned something. Getting tilted is totally a normal reaction. If you decide, you know what, fuck this shit, man. Like, I've been fighting this for 4 hours, as Risa's saying, I am over this. I've got better things to do in my life. That's totally valid, right? There's nothing wrong with deciding to yourself, you know what, I'm just gonna move on. But if you do want to see it through to the end, you do have to cheer yourself on. Another thing I did, and I kind of joked about this, but this is true. I viewed my entire, like, run-up to beating Alatreon, for example, as my training arc. Like, that was my training montage. Like, my training montage, most people's training montage is like an hour. Alright, some people's training montage is like 10 hours. My training montage was 40 hours, okay? Like, that's a long-ass training montage. That is a really long training montage. There's a lot of people who beat this game way, way, way faster than me. Good for them. Honestly, I'm really happy for them that they were able to beat this boss. For me, though, like, it took me 40 hours, and that just means that my training montage was a little longer, okay? If you view it as your training montage, then I think that's a different mindset when you say, like, okay, like, I'm Rocky. Every day I get a little faster. Every day I learn a bit more. My training montage is longer. But that's just how it's gotta be. That's just how it is, alright? So, and I also got a bunch of REM sleep, right? Sometimes you need several days to beat something. I actually did like talk to some people. I watched some other streamers. I could see that they had moments where they got really upset, and when they mauled it and that kind of thing. I think like those people have the determination to do it, obviously, to see it through to the end, but I feel like, I don't know. Don't be upset. You got this. Why you mad? You got this. Don't be mad. Like, you know, throwing your controller across the room is like, you know, when you like barely miss, it's not frustrating, it's encouraging. I don't know. You barely miss and you're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I got so close. As opposed to like, oh, I was so close, I'm a failure. You know, there are some people who get better by getting mad. Maybe. Some of the best esports gamers are the most salty. That may be true too. I'm not saying that like it's bad to be mad per se, but I'm saying that like sometimes getting salty and tilted is like the way that you like give up on yourself. Mistakes are part of the process for real, says SB. I'm not an esports gamer. Let's make this clear. This is not the mindset you should have if you want to like be competitive gaming or something, right? Like if you're playing PvP or something, if you're playing like any kind of PvP game, this is not the right mindset, right? When it comes to playing these kinds of games, and like I said, specifically single player games where you play basically against yourself, right? Obviously you're playing against like the game, like the game design, the game AI and whatnot, but you're really competing against yourself, right? And when it comes to competing against yourself, that is a completely different mindset of like, okay, I may not beat this the fastest. I may not beat this, you know, in the most stylish way. I'm not a speedrunner. I am not like, you know, goated at this game or whatever, but I just want to beat it for me. I want to beat it for myself. That's the mindset I had towards it. I happen to be doing it with all of you, so, but for me, like, that was more like sharing the experience. I wasn't doing it for any of you, all right? Suckers. I wasn't doing it for any of you, all right? Y'all were like, damn, so great that she's beating Fatalis for us. Nah, suckers. I was beating it for myself, baby. I was beating it to prove to myself that I could try. All of that to say, if you do decide to take on Alatreon, if you do decide to take on Fatalis, good luck. Really, don't get mad at yourself for not succeeding right away. Don't get mad at yourself if you decide to call it and say, I'm moving on to other things in my life. If you're going to beat Fatalis, beat it for yourself. And remember that every single, you know, time that you got close, it's a victory. It's not like a failure on your part. And also that the longer it takes you, it doesn't mean that you know, don't deserve to win. It doesn't mean that you're a shitty player or a shitty person or whatever. What it means is that your training montage is a little bit longer, all right? That's what it means. It means your training montage is a little bit longer than other people's. Like, you know, even think about something like this, like running a marathon. Some people run a marathon in whatever, like sub 3 hours. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't run marathons. Some people run marathons real fast, and some people run marathons real slow, and for some people, you can train in a year and run a marathon, and some people it takes you 5 years to train and run a marathon. But at the end of the day, you're just competing against yourself. From what I can gather, I am a little bit more positive than other people. I don't know. It's interesting to me to hear that, because like I just play the way I play, man. I just play the way I play, and apparently I am more zen about this than other people. You don't need to achieve my level of zen about this, but you know, just be nice to yourself. Okay? Just be nice to yourself. Just be nice to yourself. That's the conclusion of the story. The moral of the story is be nice to yourself, cheer yourself on, and believe.